we have got some news surrounding the future of the Saints Row reboot. Over on the Saints Row website, a blog post was posted there that's talking about what Volition Deep Silver hopes for the future of this game and what they kind of plan on doing with it. It is not a roadmap, but you just someone talking, someone that I actually think is probably the deadliest stuff. But we're going to be covering that today. So let's get down to it. The reason why I said it was deadly stuff that wrote some of this up is because a lot of it kind of smells of BS. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, let's read the first paragraph here, because it kind of gives us a, I guess, a grasp on how many copies this game sold. We are so excited that Saints Row is finally out and in your hands. More than 1 million players have taken Santa Aliso by storm and begun to build their criminal empires as the Saints. So, over 1 million players. More than 1 million players, okay? So I think this game only sold a little over 1 million copies as of now, because we don't see over 1.5 million, 2 million, whatever. It is more than 1 million players. So I say maybe 1.1 million, maybe 1.2 million is how many copies this game sold. You might think that this is good. This is good game sales. It really isn't, especially for the Saints Row franchise. Because in little under a week, or I think it was actually a week, the first weeks of sales for Saints Row 4, the game sold 1 million copies. And right now it's what, a month and a half since the reboot came out, and it's just at that number now. That should really tell you what people think about this game. And this here, I'm going to read this here. It's just to kind of give you a laugh, right? Because I thought it was pretty funny. This is why I think that the Deadly Stuff probably wrote this. Well, we have been quietly working behind the scenes. That's all. That's all I really need to read to you there. Quietly working. I guess quietly working means calling their fans the big T word that isn't transphobe. I don't know. And then it says here, and we want to thank you for your enthusiasm, support, and feedback. Well, the radio certain community manager has been acting. I don't think you guys like the feedback very much. And then we learn down here that they are planning on working on the Saints Row reboot for the long run. We are supporting Saints Row for the long term. While we'd have preferred to be talking about roadmaps expansions right now, we feel the focus must be on telling you how we're going to improve the Saints Row experience for all players in 2022 and beyond. And I apologize if I'm stumbling my words there, but because I've been up all night, I'm running on no sleep at all, so I'm kind of at this moment. And now we're going to finally get to the good stuff, where they're talking about the bugs, all the bugs in this glorious mess of a game. And when I say glorious, I really don't mean glorious. So let's get to it here. We know there is still work to do to improve your experience in the game, and we are working hard on fixes to community-reported issues and improvements based on your feedback. You know what? If Volition actually took fan feedback when they released that reveal trailer back in August of 2021, I believe? Was it last year? Might have been earlier than that. Then this game would be selling copies like crazy. Everybody would be out there. They'd be buying copies. Stores would be sold out. It would probably have a good chance of being Game of the Year. But oh no. There's a saying it goes better late than never. I don't think that's the case for the Saints Row reboot. And by them saying that they're taking fan feedback seriously, I don't know. I want to believe them. I do. Say that's the optimist to me, right? I want to believe them. But I just don't. Because this is the exact type of language we seen during the development of this game, where representatives of this company were telling these different gaming media outlets that they're taking fan feedback seriously, that they're going to make improvements based on, so that the game is something that all fans would love. And well, we know that was complete and utter horse crap. And if we kind of continue down here, we can see just how many bugs they plan on fixing in the November update. And it is right here. This November update will feature over 200 bug fixes and stability upgrades, and it will have a particular focus on challenges, overall stability, and co-op. It is becoming a lot more clear now that they knew when they released this game that it was broken. And to me, they're admitting that this game, it's broken, it's a buggy mess, and that it sucks. That's what I feel. I feel that they're kind of admitting it without admitting it, because they're trying to say, hey, we're going to fix all the stuff that, you know, doesn't make the game shitty or anything like that. But 200 bug fixes, this is completely, it's nuts. And this is just November. This isn't counting for all the bugs they fixed since the launch of this game, and the game is still a buggy mess. It's unbelievable that companies can get away with this. Like, they release a game in an unfinished state, people buy, people spend their money expecting to get a full game, and then they don't, and the company's like, oh, well, we'll make it a full game later down the road somewhere. So, you know, whenever, like, if the sales look good, we'll fix it for you guys. But if you don't buy the game, well, you know, we're not going to fix it. Have fun with your broken fucking game. The companies like this, man, it's you know, it pisses me off. Well, especially the way Volition is, right? They're expecting everybody to buy this game. They're just expecting people to buy this goddamn game. And you have the developers saying that this game is a masterpiece. It's not as bad as people are saying. And then you have them saying right here, oh, the November update, it's going to be a major update, and it's going to fix over 200 bugs. A game shouldn't have fucking over 200 bugs at launch unless it's a big game like fucking Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls, if it's an MMO, whatever. For a game that is like Saints Row, it shouldn't have happened. It absolutely should not have happened. And this gets me thinking, what exactly was this game like when it was originally supposed to launch? And what did they spend those 3 months doing? In all honesty, I think they spent those 3 months doing nothing. Well, because the game's a broken mess for one, and for two, they probably delayed it because they knew that there's no big games coming out in August. And let's be honest, that is the only reason that they got the #1 spot in the first week of sales over in the UK charts. And now it's time to move on to what they say about the quality of life changes. So, right here. This update will include many requested improvements, including reducing repetition in some activities, making challenges more rewarding, improving vehicle management, a revamp of humble and haptic features, and more. Once again, this is just proving my point. They knew this game was broken, because let's be honest here, okay? Let's be 100% honest here. What kind of quality assurance tester would be that dumb that they would sit down, play this game, and say, hey, yeah, there's no bugs in this game, it's good to launch? I think they knew. They knew that this game was a buggy mess when it launched. And they decided to launch it anyways, instead of actually, I don't know, delaying it or whatever, which, to me, it proves they don't care about this game at all. They just want the money that comes with the IP. It's been clear to everybody from the way the story was written, from all the bugs in this game, from the broken mess it is, from the way the fucking developers, or sorry, let me correct myself there, the team members of Volition are acting. They don't care about this IP. It's clear. It's just something that they think they can make money on, which I hope they do not. I hope they don't even fucking break even with this game. And then here it says, the quality of life improvements in this update are just the tip of the icebergs. Blah, 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 none of that shit here. Talks about some free DLC, cosmetic DLC that they have released, which, woohoo, I got some new skins. And then what we're going to get here is what they plan on doing for 2023 and beyond. As we said at the top of the blog, replaying and supporting Saints Row for the long term. 2023 will be a hugely exciting year for Saints Row owners, with a raft of content, including all new story content included in the expansion pass, but will also be available to buy separately, wink, and free new gameplay experiences and areas of the city to explore. I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about in here first. All right, so let's do this here. Free new gameplay experiences and areas of the city to explore. The free new gameplay experiences are probably stuff that was in this game, well, that was originally intended to be in this game at launch. Maybe these gameplay activities or experiences, as they're calling them in this blog, was, I don't know, maybe too buggy, which I wouldn't really see that stopping them from putting it in the game at launch. But I have a funny feeling that this stuff here is probably pulled from the main game, like a lot of companies do. It's not only Volition that does this, so I'm going to kind of cut them some slack in that part, and repackaged as a DLC or free new gameplay, as they're saying, and making it think that they're doing it out of the generosity of their own hearts. And the next thing here is an all-new story content included in the expansion pass, but it will also be available to buy separately. Now here is where I'm going to tell you my honest, brutal opinion. This game, it's only going to get supported as long or until the expansions that were promised in the expansion pass are released. I believe that 100%. They're only doing this because they have an obligation to expansion pass holders. And that's what I think. And let's be honest here. The story in this game, it's complete shit. Nobody, even people who are like this game, they don't play it for the story. Story doesn't even measure up closely to the old Saints Row games. And if you think that, well, I don't know, maybe you should maybe you should get your head checked there. But that's my opinion. That is what I think. Saints Row 2, a masterpiece. Saints Row 1, a little behind Saints Row 2. They're in Saints Row 3. Like I said, I like Saints Row 3. I know other people don't, but whatever. It is what it is. But nobody's going to be playing the Saints Row reboot for the story. And if the story is anything like we have seen in the main campaign of this game, it's going to be complete shit. And this year, it brings me to my other point about this. I don't think these expansions are actually going to be expansions. I think they're going to be 3 or 4 missions that we see that are being called expansions that are really DLCs. But who knows? I might be wrong. The expansions might completely undo everything that the Saints Row reboot had done. And if it didn't, awesome. That would be fantastic. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be like that, because the people who are at Volition has their heads so far up their ass that they can see out of their fucking mouths. Once they release the 2 expansions or whatever, I say that we're going to see support for this game stop. I say maybe late 2023, early 2024 is when all support for this game is going to cease. But there you have it, guys. That was some Saints Row news about the future of the series, if it is to be believed, because let's remember, this is Volition. They love to bullshit. In case you guys didn't know, I'm Gamer Geek, and if you're stuck around this long, if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really help a fella out. I hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful day. Peace out.